sponsored by Flip Narrative. And remember, if you don't love your story, flip it.
So I didn't tell this story. I had a group, a Facebook group of Amazon sellers that were like huge shoe buyers and resellers. So we would go onto Amazon and look for like all those price drops on like Crocs or whatever. And then I would post the affiliate link in my group, and I'd have these huge buyers buy like 100 pairs, right? Oh. And so I was a part of the Amazon Associates program, and I think one December I made $9,000. That was my cut. That's how much I sold to these buyers in this group, who were amazing. But Amazon created a rule that said you couldn't like post these links for commercial purposes, right? They just wanted a bunch of like influencers, like, hey, there's this cute dress, buy the, and we'll pay you a percentage. But because I was doing so much volume, they eventually shut my Amazon Associates account down. But I used all that money that I made doing that to fund the private label paper plate stuff. So, I there's like a couple of stores that buy this stuff from me, and the rest of it just sits and collects dust. And I'm not pursuing that anymore, but especially because Amazon sold out all of their United States sellers to Chinese sellers. You know what I mean? So they went direct to all of our manufacturing, right? They were like, shut you down. And they're like, give us all your manufacturing info, give us all your documentation. Okay, well, what did I do?
Right.
They went and took all that and went right to those people and said, we want you to create something similar. And then Amazon themselves or the manufacturer, or they courted the manufacturer to just sell on Amazon FBA. So it was one or two, and it wiped out like a vast majority of US sellers like me. And I could still probably go in and compete, but to hell with that, man. That's why I hate it. That's why when you hear me say I can't stand Amazon, I can't stand Amazon. I hate it. Like, I didn't order anything. I never order from Amazon, and I'm still alive. Like all of you,
right?
Go to the store. There's a store. Just go to the store. Stop ordering from that nonsense company. But
so, what year was this when they did that?
I started doing it in 2015. I think the private label was ready like at the end of 2000, maybe the beginning of 2017. I don't remember exactly when like the first one landed here in the US, like my first shipment, but for about a good year and a half to 2 years. And it's a learning curve because you're selling your own product. So you've got to like play with like sponsored advertisements and their whole that whole program to get views. And it was good for a while, but I got suspended like on the retail arbitrage side, and that like took forever to get sorted out. And it was just way too much. I was spending a lot of money on products to keep the dollars flowing so that I could continue to give these huge chunks of money to these Chinese manufacturers who were wonderful to work with, but Amazon sold me out, and that was that.
So crazy. Yeah. And it makes sense as to why now you don't want to spend too much money on inventory because you've been doing it for so long on Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm committed to spending more, but really, like, I should be spending way more than $1,000 a month on eBay. You know what I mean?
If it's working, way more too.
Well, scale it. I mean, just scale it. Now, am I going to find that next $1,000? Say I double it to 2,000. I'm not just going to go out into a thrift store and find 6 pairs of Hokas. Like you're going to have to. So you're going to have to like buy maybe a little like the second tier items a little bit more rather than like that hot, you absolutely know it's going to sell item. So I would have to do a little bit more of that, but it's really just a numbers game. I mean, if I spent an extra $1,000 a month, my sales would go up. So that is what I'm doing. That's like how I'm going to grow to January's 1,250 listing. That's how I'm going to get there and get it to like a rolling 1,500 listings. Because if I had 1,500 consistently, I know I'm going to be selling 300 items a month.
Right.
I know exactly what like my average sales price is for like 5 months straight. My average sales price has either been 45 or 46, like on a monthly basis. Like when you go into the sales reports and you look at it, it's super consistent. So I got really solid data to make these decisions. I just always have that in the back of my mind. Like maybe you shouldn't be spending that much. Like what if? So that's what I fight with all the time. Like you just spend more, but then I'm afraid to spend more, but then I'm afraid to.
I mean, you don't got to double up completely. You could, instead of 1,000, you could do 12 and see how that works. You know?
That's exactly because I want to grow. I mean, I don't want to keep going down. I want to grow. And then of course I want to show my audience all of these things are possible. Right. So
Right.
following along, like on this journey that I'm on, like you can see that it clearly works. Like if you just adhere to these like mini goal, and in the last video that I put out is like New Year's resolutions, forget all that. Throw all that nonsense out. Stop that. Because for most people, like come January, like you're in the gym, right?
Right.
They're selling those memberships, but then February comes
And the gym
and
is
we don't
empty
go
again.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So break it down into like, I'm going to break my resolutions, if you will, down into like monthly chunks. So I'm not even thinking about February and that forward, with the exception of YouTube. Like I have a certain amount of goals that I want to hit throughout the year coming up here. But
Okay.
for eBay, 1,250 listings. Get to 1,250 the minute you hit February 1st. See if you can do it. And then if you do it, increase it even more in February and just keep going that route. Like you got it to 1,200, you can get it to 1,600. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So 1 month at a time is how I'm going to handle my goals. And
Make the big goal, break it down, small chunks, tackle it that way. I like
yeah,
that. I
yeah.
like that. So if you guys enjoyed that short clip from the podcast, click over here for another short clip. And if you guys want to check out the full podcast, click over here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.